All right, everybody, welcome back and good day. Got some updates on the ZAU. We're getting close. At this point, I'm pretty positive that I can tear it down and get it painted along with the 335 parts. So everything that needs to be Prairie Gold is going to get done at one time, which is phenomenal. So let me take you through where we're at. Okay, in the last video, we took you through the fabrication of the roller lift brackets and the hammer brackets, and so now I've got a little bit of video on getting these lift arms built, which you'll see now. All right, so I've got new 1/2-inch rod. I've got a 1/2 by 13 die, and I'm working on making new adjustment rods and lift rods for the spring rake. Now I have one of them complete, at least the threaded portion of it. So we've got the handle crank with the 1/2 13 threads. I've got a new spacer that brings this up above the bar so that you can turn it, right? And so everything works nice and smooth. So now the other one, I have to finish threading, and then I have to cut this off and then drill it out and then run a tap through it to clean those threads up. So that's what we're going to do. Okay, so I got my WD-40. Just put a little bit of lube on there, and we're going to cut down, and then we're going to back off and break the bite and go a little further. And we'll just repeat this process all the way down our thread. And yes, it does take a long time to get to England in a rowboat. All right. Okay. That guy. Our sleeve. Sweet. Let's go run our tap. All right, we are rethreaded. And set to go there. Next, I have to put the bends in. Okay, so I got my bends put in, at least in the first rod. The only thing I got left to do is cut it off and make the loop at the bottom. And I'm just going to go ahead and use this one to do the other side. You can see this bend went a little further than I wanted it to, but it's not bad. And the other side, I'm just going to make sure I don't go quite as far in that bend, but I'm pretty happy with it. Okay, I'm just using this one as a template. You don't want to go quite as far. It's probably pretty close. All right, now I just have to take care of the loop. Okay, finished product. I like it. And then the last thing that I had to take care of was I needed to build a replica of this lower bracket. See if I can get you both sides. That holds the spring rake. And even though I didn't get that on video, for two reasons. One, because it was really testing the skills of my fabrication abilities, and two, because I did a lot of it off-site, somewhere where I had access to a really good welder. So this is the finished product. It isn't 100% identical. I am missing a bend right here that kind of swales it over, but I also don't really see the purpose of it. I'm not sure what I'm missing, but I'm not going to put the extra effort in. Bending this 1/2-inch steel was difficult enough. It took a good 2 hours to get this bend put in. So for all intents and purposes, this is going to work out just fine. It'll do everything I need it to do. I've got to source the right bolts yet, but that's no big deal. But as you can see, right now the spring rake is floating, which brought up a whole new question. First of all, whether or not these bars were going to clear as this rolled forward, and the answer was nope. They decided to bend on their own a little bit, which I guess is par for the course if that's the way it wants to be. I just didn't quite get my bends right, but that's okay. You can see the cylinder's about 3/4 of the way retracted right now, so this has got just a little bit further to go, and it's all the way in and it's all the way up. And you can see that the gap between the spring rake and the axle, there's not a whole lot left there. So my guess is this isn't going to lift a whole lot further, which when I go to put this thing on the trailer makes me wonder just how much this is going to dig on its way up. But that question will have to be answered later. We're too far into the ball game for that now. So with all of that being said, this is a little bit shorter video, but that's because I'm at the end of the fabrication stage with this. The next thing that needs to happen is tear it all off, get everything hung up to get painted with the 335, and at the same time get everything that needs to go in under a red coat, which the only thing from the 335 that needs a red coat is the grill, set up out here so that I can paint that along with the rest of the pieces to the cultivator. So my thought process with these is I'm gonna grab my second engine hoist from work, get each of them up on an engine hoist so that they're dangling, get them sandblasted along with the rake and all the other components. The components I'll hang off of the rack, get them all stripped, and then that's going under Prairie Gold, that's going to go under the red, and I'm going to try to get most of it done in one crack, and then we can get back into the assembly, get the tires back on this, get the fenders back on it, get the hydraulic fluid filled up, get the tranny fluid filled up, and hopefully get this one out of here. So this one just needs a good cleaning. Assuming everything works when I put it together, this will be done. This project's going to be over with. The 335 will be almost complete. 445 needs a little bit of cleaning. The BF Avery, I still have to do a little bit of work there, and then whatever time I have left is going to go into that RTE to see if I can get that thing up and running. Yeah, everything from here on out is just tedious getting everything ready for paint. So that'll hopefully be the next video you see on this or the 335. So that's really all I have for you today. I hope that you find this as interesting as I do. And as always, take your foot off the clutch. Thanks, everybody.